Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Ask Doc Live. So we'll wait just a few moments here as everybody is getting their sound and their video and everything loaded. And if you are on live with us, we would love to see your smiling faces. I would love to see your smiling faces. It just brightens my day to see so many people who are excited and empowered to find information that can help them and themselves, their families, their communities, just create a healthier environment with empowering options. So we do provide options that you're not going to hear everywhere. In fact, very few places will you hear this. So we encourage you to help us share this information. On Ask Doc Live, we have been going for almost 2.5 years. And all of those programs and replays are available on AskDocLive.com. That's AskDocLive.com, all one word. You can go there and find all of our replays. We've got brief descriptions on the replays. Jonathan McCollier, our webmaster and our technical guru, is really good about getting those replays posted with enough information that if you do a search on the website, it'll come up with those videos that will include information about those symptoms. So we do try to stay away from medical terminology, but you know, our body has symptoms. It's clues that it gives us to let us know that, hey, there's something going on. And as Dr. Wallach calls them, red warning lights. So with that being said, welcome to Ask Doc Live. My name is Rebecca Dukes-Kozak, and I will be your host for the next 2 hours in providing empowering information that will benefit you on your health journey. Whether you're here just for the knowledge, whether you're here to find out what is going to be a best protocol for you, because we will be given some protocols, we will be taking questions. So if you have a question for Dr. Wallach, make sure that you raise your virtual hand here on the Zoom if you're on live with us. So go to the Zoom menu, reactions, click raise hand. Now, if you were invited by somebody specific and you want to get the protocol or products that are mentioned within this program, make sure you get back with the person that invited you to watch this show. They took the time and have a vested interest in making sure that you also get the information you need because they want to keep you around. There is absolutely no reason we have to be average or below average when it comes to life expectancy and longevity. And that's information that we're going to be sharing with you today. So also, if you're on live with us, make sure that you have that chat box open because our incredible co-hosts will be putting information in that chat to help you find more information about what we are talking about today. So unfortunately, if you're watching the replay, that chat's not available, but every Friday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Pacific time, we are here live on Ask Doc Live, and we invite you. To get your personal invitation, go to AskDocLive.com and sign up for our newsletter, and that will get you your invitation each week with the link to our Ask Doc Live program. You can also reply to that email if you have questions that you would like to ask of Dr. Wallach about your personal condition or that one, the condition of somebody that you love or care about. And one of our certified holistic health coaches will be able to reply to your email and make sure that you're getting the information that is going to set your health journey on a more positive trajectory. How's that work? All right, everybody. I just again want to thank you all for being here with us. And the content of this information is to provide educational information only, and it is on the importance of nutrition and supplementation. It was back in the 1930s that it was determined by the US government that our food supplies around our country, around our world, are empty and void of what the body needs to survive. Our soil is depleted of minerals, and plants cannot create minerals without minerals already being in the ground, folks. This program will be sharing those nutritional options that are available to fill those gaps through supplementation in a form that a body can actually readily absorb. Now, the statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. The products discussed are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. And again, the information of this Zoom is for informational purposes. If you are pregnant, nursing, or taking medication, please consult your healthcare professional before starting on any supplement program. Now, our good doctor, Dr. Joel Wallach, has been instrumental in suing that fine establishment of the FDA with victories 9 times. Now, these victories have led to the additional vital nutrients added to foods and allowing the distribution of this information that has been proven by science to be factual in the essential need of the supplementation against dis-ease. So we bring good news. The genetic theory, if you have been told you have a genetic condition, well, that genetic theory has been proven to be incorrect through the science of epigenetics, which is the study of how your own behaviors and environment can cause changes that affect the way those genes are expressed. And with epigenetics, you are an empowered individual and have more control than you think over how your body thrives or survives in this health journey. So we invite you to feel the difference with the options that are provided in this program. And to guide us, we are honored to have one of the founding fathers of epigenetics, who is also the recipient of the 2011 Klaus Schwarz Commemorative Medal, a Lifetime Achievement on Natural Medicine and Philanthropy from the United Nations, which was presented in 2015, here to guide us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health. Dr. Joel Wallach. Dr. Wallach, welcome to Ask Doc Live. How are you today?
Well, thank you so much for the kind introduction. And I'm very excited today for a variety of reasons. Number one, of course, we have so many of our projects moving forward, and some of them are going to come to fruit very quickly here. So I'm very proud of all the activities that you and your team have done to bring that to happen. And today is also Veterans Day. And I want to thank our veterans of all, of our military disciplines, the Army, the Navy, the Marines, the Air Force, and so forth. And I spent more than 20 years in the military. I spent 7 years in the Army at Fort Leonard Wood in central Missouri with the 105 and 155 howitzers artillery. And that was quite an experience. And then, let's see here, I got into the Air Force, and I spent the rest of the 20 years in the Air Force from Elmendorf in Alaska, Anchorage, Alaska. I didn't spend all my time in Anchorage, Alaska. I was going to probably I'd say about 30 different countries around the world, and also so many different, I think all the continents. I went to all the continents through the Air Force. And my responsibilities were quite wide. Everything from taking care of the guard dogs, because I'm a veterinarian and a physician, but also dealing with the food supply coming in, making sure that was good for our members of the military, but also weapons. I was also involved with receiving weapons and arming them and making sure they worked properly and didn't blow our own people up and all that kind of stuff. So I covered quite a bit of stuff in the military. Of course, I'm wearing proudly my Veterans of the Air Force hat here. And so I just want to thank all of our veterans. I want to invite them to join us. They have so much talent and training and experience in communicating and observing and transmitting information. And if they could apply that, they could have wonderful home-based businesses and for their families and so forth, and help put their kids through college and pay off their bills and so forth. Especially there's so many people being laid off and businesses closing and so forth because of the pandemic stuff and so on. So I do, especially today on Veterans Day, inviting all of our veterans of every one of the military divisions to join us, okay? And they can go to, what numbers would you give out for that, Rebecca?
Well, to start, Dr. Wallach, if they were invited to this program by somebody specific, get back with the person that invited them to this program.
Absolutely.
If you were not invited to this program by anybody specific, you can go to askdoclive.com and use the contact us and let us know that you're interested in more information. But Dr. Wallach, I want to take a minute to thank you for your service, because not only did you have service in the Air Force, but you also had service in the Army. And that's a lot of time that's been dedicated to supporting our country and its safety and vitality. So thank you so much, Dr. Wallach, on Veterans Day for your service.
Well, thank you. It was a learning experience over
I bet.
a 20-year period. And so I'm very, very proud. I think there's a song, I'm proud to be an American.
I'm proud to be an American.
Yeah.
Or at least I know I'm free.
There you go.
Yes, I love that song.
Yeah. Okay. And so it's still true. And we have so much good to do for not only America, but for the world. And so let's get it on. And of course, the piece you were talking about, where the U.S. Senate came in, was 1936, U.S. Senate document 264. They came out and said, our farm soils no longer have sufficient minerals in them to support healthy human life. 1936. And doctors are still saying, oh, just eat well, you get everything you need. That's absolutely, positively not true. So I urge you. And of course, I was handing out obituaries of doctors at meetings. Doctors, they die at 35 while they're running a marathon, or they die at 42 while they're doing surgery. And the average lifespan of emergency room doctors in America is 58. It doesn't make sense, right? And so I was at a meeting, I forget where it was, I think it was in Texas, and then a medical doctor, big guy, comes up to me during the meeting, right, just interrupts me speaking. And he comes up to me and he says, okay, Wallach, in front of the whole audience, they're all cringing out there. They don't know what's going to happen. And he says, okay, Wallach, why are you giving out all these obituaries of doctors? What's going on here? And I just said out of my mouth, and I had never thought of it before, I just said, only dead doctors don't lie. And so I came up with that. And we sold 90 million of those audio cassettes, 90 million, okay, before the books were printed. And so we're getting the word out there. We need to deal with that. And so let's go. Now, with that said, we have some very basic things. We have some health stuff that has to do with nutrition. Okay, we have a book and a CD and a DVD set, a 3-piece set, book, CD, and DVD. It's called the Truth About Nutrition. And I want everybody to get this set. Okay, you buy 10 sets, you get a big discount. All right, very important.
And Dr. Wallach, as a homeschooling mom, I love this set to include in our health education program. So my son and I have started reading through this, and it's going through the basics and teaching about the health and the importance of nutrition. So if you are a homeschooling family, or grandparents of a homeschooling family, this would be a fabulous, fabulous Christmas gift because Christmas is coming fast. In helping to provide additional information that will help your kids, your grandkids, your great grandkids have healthier life going farther into life and enjoying life. Dr. Wallach, is I know I used to not look forward to getting old, and now I have no reservation about getting old. I love it.
Well, you just have to get used to being old for 400 years.
Only if the good Lord wants me to be here that long, Dr. Wallach. So.
Okay, and then of course, we have Immortality. It's also another book in the story, but I'm going to get to that in a minute. But a very important book in the story is Hell's Kitchen. It goes from the transition from wood and coal as fuel, where we use the ashes, which are 98% minerals and 2 or 3% carbon of the wood ashes and coal ashes for fertilizer and spices put in our food. We got minerals that way. Well, at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Monday, September 4th, 1882, we went to electricity with Thomas Edison. And suddenly now, our source of our minerals we had for thousands and thousands and thousands of years went away. And doctors said, oh, just eat well, you get everything you need. That's absolutely positively not true. So I urge everybody also to get the book, Rare Earths Been Cures. It's a big one. It's way off my left-hand side. You got it? Okay. Rare Earths Been Cures, chapters 10 and 11, start at page 272. They'll tell you how to collect your hair, how to put it in an envelope, where to send it. Don't forget to put the check in there because they won't do the test without the check. And you'll find out what your status is of your nutritional minerals. You'll find out what your status is of toxic minerals like lead and mercury and all this, these things there's probably about 25 different toxic metals and so forth. And there's 60, right? 60 nutritional minerals.
60 essential nutritional minerals. Yes.
Essential nutritional minerals.
And
60.
trace.
Yep. And so then Immortality, this was a 5-year study that we actually spent going around the world and visiting, there you go, visiting long-lived cultures and finding out what they proactively did, proactively avoided, and what they proactively did to what they did to live to be 120 and 140 and 160. And, you know, again, our emergency room doctors in America, their life expectancy is 58. Our life expectancy in America for the average American is 75 to 79, depending on whose numbers you look at. And so we have a problem here. So what's going on? Well, it's what we're eating, it's what we're not eating, it's what nutrients we're not getting. And so you have to be responsible for all this. And that's why we have 21 best-selling books and sets. We have 4 more coming out, one of which Rebecca and her team have been very, very prominent in. The Wallach Revolution that's coming out here pretty soon now. I'm very excited about that because it's the Wallach story from beginning to now, because the end is about 600 years away, I believe. There you go, the Wallach Revolution. And the complete version is at the printer as we speak. Okay, so thank you, Becca and your team. And I also want to remind everybody that we have toxic things we have to really be aware of. And most of them we've been introduced to by doctors and people who are well-meaning. Things like wheat, barley, rye, and oats. They have gluten in them. They destroy your small intestine, so you cannot efficiently absorb nutrients. And then there's buckwheat. Now, buckwheat, of course, you find in pancakes in sort of a cereal, kind of like a oatmeal cereal made out of buckwheat. And then, of course, we had also, let's see here, buckwheat noodles. All right. And buckwheat, just like wheat, barley, rye, and oats have gluten in them, buckwheat has phagopyrins in them. And the phagopyrins inflame your blood vessels and your organic tissues and glands and everything. And you wind up with a disease called lupus erythema. Okay, get all these rashes on your face and everything, and you get gut issues. And so people who eat gluten and buckwheat, oh my gosh, you are in deep doo-doo, deep trouble. Okay, so lupus fibromyalgia, rheumatoid arthritis, irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's disease, celiac disease, diverticulitis, metabolic syndrome, which is obesity, diabetes, and high blood pressure. And then there's central nervous system demyelination, which is things like Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, MS, multiple sclerosis, Guillain-Barré syndrome. All of these are caused by the white matter of the brain, the myelin going away, makes up 25% of the brain weight and 25% of your spinal cord weight. It's cholesterol. Do not take cholesterol-lowering drugs, and eat 3 eggs twice a day as an adult. Make sure your kids are getting eggs. Make sure if the mother's breastfeeding, she's eating eggs 3 times a day, maybe even three times a day. And make sure that the baby's getting 1 meal a day, our kids toddy, and make sure the mother is not eating gluten and not eating buckwheat, because that will interfere with the nutrition getting into the breastfed baby. Okay, so all of this stuff is so important. I just can't, I just get breathless when I think about it. And then for energy, rather than soft drink, whoop, oh, can't hear you.
Okay, I do want to interrupt you since you were on the buckwheat topic. Okay.
You have to speak up.
Since you're on the buckwheat topic, Dr. Wallach, I do want to interrupt you for just a minute, because when you are looking up buckwheat and gluten-free foods, it is actually something that comes up as being beneficial. They don't talk about this chemical that's toxic within the body that causes severe skin rashes. And if it's on the outside, it's on the inside as well. And that is something that I experienced and didn't realize it, because I thought I was doing right by using buckwheat as an alternative. And in many countries, when I looked up what foods contain buckwheat, I mean, there's a list of things that unless you were specifically looking at the label, you would not know that there was buckwheat in that food. So really, really look at labels. You don't want wheat, barley, rye, oats, or buckwheat on those labels, especially not in the first 5 ingredients. I mean, not at all, but still, they're usually within the first couple ingredients. So it doesn't take much to read labels and find these.
Yeah, it's like saying, don't shoot yourself in the head with a 45. It's safe to shoot yourself in the head with a 22. No, you don't want any.
Well, I'm gonna say shoot yourself in the foot. It's still gonna hurt, whether it's a 45 or a 22. It's still gonna hurt really bad and can cause later issues. So let's just be proactive in making sure that we take those things out of our diets now, so that we're not being affected now or in the future. So let's go to energy now, Dr. Wallach. Thanks for letting me interrupt.
Okay, well, it was good stuff. Good stuff. And so energy, of course, we want to talk about a rebound. And of course, you take your 90 essential nutrients, and this is what our hair analysis, where we talked about that with the book Rare Earths and Cures. And you need the nutrients for your body to make energy, repair itself, do all that kind of stuff. And then you need the raw materials. And we have an energy drink. Okay, it's in a canister, and sticks. It has 75 minerals in it, 75 minerals, 25 vitamins, amino acids. There's 30 sticks in a box. You can take 2 or 3 of these in your pocket during the day. You know, they don't even weigh an ounce. Okay, and it's one of those things where you can either staple them to, or it's kind of dangerous because you don't want to be puncturing this with a staple. So I like to Scotch tape these to your business cards and hand out your business card and say, hey, we're looking for people who want to get our energy drink out there, plus our other information, okay, for over, let's see here, 900 different diseases, all right, 600 different diseases, okay. We need people to get that. And then, of course, we have the canister, which has 36 servings in there. There's a scoop in here, and you can put 1 scoop, so 36 times into a bottle of water, and make your rebound that way, okay. And then also, when I'm at home, we use the cans of rebound. They're 12-ounce cans. There's 12 of them in a case. and they have these little pop tops, and they have carbonation in them. That's kind of a no-no. So what I do is I pop the tops in 2 of these cans before I go to bed at night, put them in the refrigerator. They off-gas the carbonation during the nighttime. They're flat, all the bubbly is gone in the morning. I drink one with breakfast. I'll drink the second one with my lunch, or maybe an hour or two after lunch, depending on my schedule, when I'm going to be expending the energy or not. And so this is where we get the energy. And every tissue in your body, including your brain, needs energy, right? And here's where I like the book and the CD. It's all in your head. It's all in your head. There's 12 pairs of cranial nerves, your spinal cord, all of which are made in the brain. And when you get osteoporosis of the skull, what happens is the skull squeezes one or more of these cranial nerves, squeezes the spinal cord, and there's 37 different diseases you can get if you have osteoporosis of the skull. Everything, from dental problems to hearing problems, loss of the sense of smell, you can't taste anything, balance problems, vertigo, blindness, hearing problems, dizziness, all this kind of stuff. And south of the skull, sciatica, all the stuff going on in all your joints and everything, hammer toes, trigger fingers, all these things are caused by osteoporosis of the skull, squeezing the spinal cord. And so this is so important. And I find it kind of interesting. The doctor's approach, say, oh, don't do what Wallach says. Oh, just all those vitamins and minerals. Let us cut your leg off and give you an artificial leg. Oh, let us cut your joints out and let's give you an artificial double hip replacement. Let's give you a double knee replacement. Why not try my stuff first for 90 days and see if we can't rebuild your hips? We'll rebuild your knees. We'll rebuild your disc. We'll rebuild your vertebrae, and you won't need that surgery. See, your doctor pays for his kids' tuition by doing the knee replacements and the hip replacements and giving you artificial limbs. That's how he sends their kids to college. Okay? Try it for 90 days our way. And, it's one of those things you're going to spend about, $20 a day or something like that and rebuild everything. And it's one of those things where you're way ahead of the game because there's no risk of anesthesia problems. And one of the ones I really love is the 10th cranial nerve being squeezed. You get, and one of the many things that happens when you have the 10th cranial nerve being squeezed is AFib, atrial fibrillation. Doctors want to anesthetize you, put you on a surgery table, cut your chest open, take your heart out, and do what's called an ablation. They take a hot branding iron and touch it all over the heart, looking for the place that's making your heart go wacko. But that's not possible because it's not a heart issue. It's the skull, the 10th cranial nerve being squeezed, causing the irregular heartbeat. It's not a heart problem. It's osteoporosis of the skull. When you have AFib, don't let them do ablation. It has the highest percentage of deaths and other terrible things that go wrong with ablation. It's a very, very bad treatment. Don't volunteer for that one. Okay. And so with all that said, I just get very, very excited about our days here. And I'm looking at the time here. Okay. And so I'm going to put this back to you because I can go on and on and on and on forever here, but if I don't know how many callers we have, so I'll throw it to you, Becca, and then you can choose where we're going.
All right, Dr. Wallach, thank you so much for that information. I think everybody else can hear me. You dropped one, so go ahead and put the other one in your ear too, and then you'll be able to hear me in stereo. But we want to make sure that you can hear because we do have callers and people with their hand raised. And we thank you all for being here with us on Ask Doc Live, and remind you that if you were invited by somebody specific, make sure that you get back with them and let them know how much you appreciate them sharing this information with you today. Can you hear me better now, Dr. Wallach?
Yes.
Thank you. I love your humor, Dr. Wallach.
Thank you.
Well, Dr. Wallach, let's get to the first hand that is up. And Susan, looks like Susan and a friend here are here with us, Dr. Wallach. Susan, go ahead. Let me make sure you can unmute. There we go. You're on live
Susan,
with Dr. Wallach. So
where are you
what's going
from?
on, Susan?
Hi, Doc Wallach. It's a pleasure to meet you. We're from Meadow Lake, Saskatchewan.
Oh, okay, Canada.
That's right, the cold country. Reynold has recently been diagnosed with Parkinson's. He's
Okay.
58, about 200 pounds.
Maybe 220.
220, I heard that. Okay.
Take over.
Kate, does he have any other issues such as high blood pressure, diabetes?
No,
Okay. Do you have any ringing in the ears, any tinnitus, ringing in the ears?
the only symptoms I have are numbness in my hand, my right hand.
Okay.
I can't pick up anything really small. If I try, it's kind of like the nerve is being stopped.
Okay, but you do have tremors that go along with Parkinson's?
No,
Okay. Do you have memory problems?
yes,
Okay. Do you have vision problems?
yes.
Okay. What about your sense of taste? Have you lost your sense of taste?
No, I still have that sense of taste and sense of humor.
Okay, good. What about sense of smell?
Not too strong.
Okay. All right. Yeah, it may, and since you don't have tremors, which is classic for Parkinson's, you may actually have osteoporosis of the skull. Are you slowly losing vision?
Well, my vision is kind of hard to get glasses because it changes.
So rapidly?
It's gotten poorer since I got my last pair.
Okay. Okay, yeah. It could be the skull squeezing the optic nerve, ONA, optic nerve atrophy. And that's caused by osteoporosis of the skull. And do you have anything going on? Let's see, here's one. How many times a night do you wake up to urinate? Once, 3 times, 5 times?
A couple of times.
Okay, say
Depends
2,
if
3.
I drink water.
Okay, 2, 3 maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you have osteoporosis of the skull. That's what's causing you to get up at night to urinate. That's also what's causing you to slowly be losing your vision on a rapidly scale because the skull is squeezing the optic nerve, can cause numbness in your hand by squeezing the spinal cord. And one of the branches of the spinal cord go to your arm, okay, and that's good. And of course, getting up at night to urinate, the skull is squeezing the spinal cord, and the spinal cord is telling your urinary bladder to urinate. And so that's why all this is going on. What about dental problems? Do you have any dentures or implants or anything like that?
No, just fillings.
Okay. All right. Let's see here. Any bowel problems, constipation, diarrhea?
Maybe a little more constipation since I've been on the vitamins.
Okay. All right. And so you're already taking stuff, but I'm just for our viewers and listeners also, and you were in the military?
No, just a carpenter.
Okay, you're a carpenter. Okay. Well, let's see. I think Jesus was a carpenter.
Yeah, he was. Maybe I am.
Okay. Okay. So, I want you to get rid of all the bad foods. And again, this is for all of our listeners too. Everybody's got to get rid of all the bad foods. No fried foods, no processed meats of any kind, no wheat, bran, rye, oats, no gluten, no buckwheat, absolutely no processed meats of any kind. And then no sugar, of course, no carbonated drinks. They need to go because they actually neutralize stomach acid, so you can't absorb minerals and digest food and that kind of thing. And then at 220 pounds, ideally you would take 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, full dose everything twice a day. Then you need 2 bottles a month for MSM, take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. And they're going to support and promote maintenance repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between the vertebrae, bone makes bone itself, including the skull. Okay. Then you need 2 of our canisters of collagen peptides. So you can take a scoop of that with your morning breakfast and drink and a scoop of that with your evening drink. Then I also want you to have the Beyond Osteo FX, a scoop of that with your morning drink, scoop of that with your evening drink. Then vitamin D3, 3 of those, even in California, because most people, don't get in their bathing suit and sit out in the sun for 2 hours a day like kids do. And so most adults, when they are out watching the kids out in the sun, they're sitting in the shade. And so you need to take your vitamin D3, take 3 of those twice a day, be 2 bottles a month. And then I also want you to take, because you have stuff going on upstairs here, I want you to take 3 eggs twice a day, 3 eggs twice a day with soft yolks. You need that cholesterol. Don't forget, don't take any cholesterol lowering drugs. You do need 3 eggs twice a day with soft yolks, soft boiled, soft poached. And I also want you to, let's see here, what else? Let's go with that. Oh, Synaptive. I do need to take Synaptive. Take 3 of those twice a day. That's 2 bottles a month, and that's going to give your brain what it likes. Also, the brain wants to be happy, and there's 3 different divisions of nutrients the brain needs, and the Synaptive have contributions to each of those 3 groups. Okay, call us every couple of weeks because you're going to have a great story, and we deal a lot with Canada. We deal a lot with Canada, and so they're our next door neighbor, and we love Canadians, and I used to go up there like almost every week in Canada, but because of this COVID thing and all the stuff you had to go through the border, it looks like things are kind of on one hand getting better, and some places getting worse. So we'll see. But we do a lot of Zooms that the Canadians are involved in, so you might want to check that out. Okay. So let's see here. I guess
All right.
Over to you, Becca.
Thank you, Susan and Reynold. And I know that you're in good hands with the coach that you have. So make sure you get back with her if you have any questions, and she can get in contact with me if she has any questions. But she is very knowledgeable in the products and protocol that Dr. Wallach has recommended for you. Now, next, Dr. Wallach, I would like to go to a chat question that was posted by Yvonne. And Yvonne has a client. It's female, 57 years old, 5'5", 140 pounds, no medications, no diagnoses on the brain, or no diagnoses of anything. She's currently on the brain and heart pack and has been for about a year. No gluten in the house. She's compliant on the bad foods list, no animals. And last year, she had several tiny red blood spots raise up on her trunk. So I think there's a couple different terms for those. And she wants to know, and so it's on the trunk of her body and on her neck, occasionally.
Yeah. Okay. And these come along because of a breakdown of the walls of the little blood vessels in the skin. The same things are happening in her lungs, in her intestines, because it's surgery or autopsy. When you open up the intestine, you see these same little red bumps, kind of like half the size of a pea kind of thing. And they're bright and red and shiny, look like a little berry, like a little cranberry. Okay, yeah. And these, we used to call them blood blisters when I was a kid. Okay, and they're caused by a deficiency of the stuff that can, what should I say, supports the maintenance of connective tissue, whether it's in the skin or the walls of the intestine or the lungs or the brain covering. Okay, the meninges of the brain. They can be found anywhere if there's connective tissue. So what I would make sure that she's adding to her program, if she's been using it, she may have to increase the quantity, is I want her to take the collagen peptides at her body weight. She can take 2 canisters a month. So you can take a scoop of that with her breakfast drink, scoop of her evening drink. She needs the, let's see here. I also want her to have the MSM, take 2 bottles a month. So you take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. And that'll be very, very important to deal with the skin, the walls of arteries and stuff like that, and veins and capillaries. This is where the pathology is taking place. And it's kind of it's literally a red warning light, because what's going on in the skin is going on in the brain, going on in the eyes, going on in the intestines, going on in the heart valves, and going on in the lungs, liver, and glands all over the place. And so we need to get these supporting nutrients in. Also, I like the, let's see here, let's go with the Beyond Osteo. I said that. Let's go with the Ultimate Daily Classic. Let's go with Ultimate Daily Classic. 2 bottles per month, Ultimate Daily Classic. Take 3 twice a day, and they're going to support healthy blood flow, okay, through blocked capillaries and arteries and veins, but also support the walls of the arteries and veins so that they don't get thickened and cause problems and flow problems and so forth. And sometimes these little red spots will get better and go away. You know, you wake up one morning and what's happened is the connective tissue gets stronger, and that little blister flattens out and goes back into the skin, and you don't see it anymore. It doesn't pop and bleed, but it'll just go back into the skin. Okay, so that's what you're looking for. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Wallach. I appreciate that. And Tony wants to know about cholesterol. How do I raise my HDL cholesterol? Because right now, Tony's cholesterol is at 34. And I also heard that olives are good for that, but not, I'm going to just add in here, not olive oil, right, Dr. Wallach?
Not olive oil. Got to stay away from canned and bottled olives. Okay, because who knows how long they've been sitting on the shelf. 3 months, 3 years, you don't know.
Well, Dr. Wallach, I personally know that eating an olive tree or eating an olive right off the tree is not very smart. They have to go through a brine process. So what I was thinking of, let's focus on the other foods that help to raise good cholesterol.
Eggs.
Eggs. What else?
Red meat.
Red meat. And okay, so let's talk about red meat, Dr. Wallach. Do we have to trim all the fat off of it?
No, you want the fat. That's where the cholesterol is at. Okay.
Okay.
And of course, red meat, chicken, fish, all of these animal muscle products, okay, have cholesterol in them, and you want the fat. You don't want to peel the fat off a chicken breast, and you don't want to peel the skin and the fat off and throw it in the garbage or give it to the dog. The dog will be smiling all the way, out to see all the boys and girls.
They'll have a healthier brain than you.
That's correct.
Let alone the hormones that are being fed through
right.
the good cholesterol. So,
That's
all
correct.
right. So, Tony, I hope that helps in some options to help raise the good cholesterol.
Just don't fry anything. Don't fry anything, because if you fry good stuff, it turns into being bad stuff.
That's right, because it's converting those molecules. It's making things crispy. You don't want things crispy. I know in the past somebody has asked me, well, how can I eat a baked potato? Well, you steam it. You can still get the same goodness on the inside without making that skin crispy. You just steam it and then mash it, or eat it baked.
And put butter on it.
And add butter. Yes. And Himalayan salt. So, Dr. Wallach, as we're talking about salt, yep, we got the seasoned salt. So the seasoned salt actually has sea salt from Australia in it.
That's right. Australia, New Zealand, right? And it has top cooked seasoning in there, okay? And the piece that a lot of people don't like from the Himalayan salt we have pepper in it, black pepper in it. And some people are allergic to black pepper. They don't like black pepper. But I like I like the
so the seasoned salt actually has white pepper.
Yes.
And I personally know that there is a difference in how my body reacts to white pepper and black pepper, because I cannot have black pepper, but I can do the seasoned salt with the white pepper.
Well,
So
there you go.
Don't quite understand that, but hey, that's what works.
Yeah, listen to your body.
Well, and let's talk about salt, Dr. Wallach. So table salt, they are stripping all those minerals out away from the sodium chloride. That's correct.
Now, you have to appreciate back the first supplements ever sold was salt. People on the East Coast of or not only the East Coast, but the coast of all these continents that are surrounded by oceans, they would take the seawater and boil it, and they would get this salt, and it had all the trace minerals that were in the oceans and the Gulf and so forth. And they would go inland and sell it for great amounts of money, okay? Because they could have people with goiters, you know, big thyroids the size of cantaloupe, and they would get on that sea salt, and within weeks, that goiter would go away. And so it was like magic. And so everybody got into having salt. And then you had clever people saying, well, it's too much work to do this and the other. And so they would take all the minerals out and just leave sodium chloride, and they would add back a few things. But and they weren't getting all the results that they would get when they had sea salt with all those other trace minerals in there from the ocean. And so that's why we went with, you have to appreciate when they used to say people are the salt of the earth, that's because salt was one of the greatest things that ever happened to humanity. It was a proactive, conscious way of getting nutrients into people, okay, and getting rid of disease. They could see that goiter going away. They had people who just couldn't get out and work. They're just so exhausted. But then they salt their food, they're okay. They could digest their food because you need to make hydrochloric acid. You have chief cells in the walls of your stomach to take salt and turn the salt into hydrochloric stomach acid. Okay. Anybody who thinks you don't need salt, oh, you just eat your food, you get plenty. No, don't think that way. Okay. And that's why we came up with the Himalayan salt and the seasoned salt. Right now, we just have on stock seasoned salt, and we're in the process of getting the Himalayan salt back. But right now, we do have a warehouse full of the seasoned salt. But I have, you know, when these things are in, you know, I buy 10 canisters of these things, and so I still have 3 or 4 canisters of the Himalayan salt left, and I use that at the kitchen table for myself. And then the seasoned salts I put out here to show, you know, because I know we have this immediately available.
Well, let's talk a little bit more about digestion, Dr. Wallach, and the importance of supporting the digestion. The salt, full of minerals, is important for that. Because Angelica has a customer that's on the 90 essential nutrients. It's been diagnosed with diabetes, but she's having vomiting and diarrhea. The doctor is just recommending Imodium and Gravol. I'm not sure what that is. So the client has decided to stay away from food, and she's lowering doses of everything. So we want to make sure that she is salting her food so that the food is actually being broken down in the right acidic environment of the digestive system, right?
Correct.
But we also have a couple other products that can help in digestion.
Yeah, I like the, let's see here. We have all kinds of enzymes. I like our health, let's see here. Our digestive
The ultimate
enzymes.
enzymes?
Ultimate enzymes. That's a good place to start. Ultimate enzymes. Okay. And you can take, say, 2 of those, say 5 to 10 minutes for each meal, with a couple ounces of water, the ultimate enzymes. And then you want to also use, if you have it, the Himalayan salt. If you don't, you want to use a seasoned salt, because it has the minerals from the oceans around Australia, around New Zealand, around the United States, around Hawaii. Okay. And so we have all this stuff, and it's the cheapest doctor you can get is salt.
Yeah, it does do a lot when it comes to digestion and food. And if our food's not being broken down, we're not getting the nutrients even out of the food, even if there's limited nutrients there. But one thing that I like, Dr. Wallach, in between foods, especially if I've had like a really big meal and I'm just feeling, you know, not so great, Digest FX is amazing at being able to help relieve that bloatedness and just that ick feel. And then I also like the root beer belly. And sometimes that's just dessert. It tastes so good. Forget about dessert. You just take some root beer belly. It helps to break down the food that you've already eaten. It gives some pre and probiotics in there also to help create a great gut
And
flora.
root beer belly was designed for kids, to get it into kids. Okay.
And it does taste like root beer.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, and Heather, one of our co-hosts, she loves root beer belly after having a gastro surgery that went bad. Root beer belly is one of her best friends.
Yeah.
So
So, if you have any burping, belching, bloating, gas coming out the other end, that kind of stuff, give it a shot. You can't go wrong. Do the root beer belly. That's in addition to all the other stuff. You can't stop the other stuff just to do
Right.
root beer belly. It's an add-on.
No. So most definitely, but it all starts with the foundation, Dr. Wallach, and that is the 90 essential nutrients, 60 minerals, that's essential and trace minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, 3 essential fatty acids. And if you add it all up, it's actually 91, but let's just say 90 essential nutrients. And that's a foundation that you can take each and every day and not have to worry about what you're getting in your food. I mean, yes, we want to eat healthy. You cannot out supplement a bad, lousy diet. I have many people that have thought that, and it just doesn't work as well for them. So I highly encourage you to adopt the good foods, bad foods list. If you do not have a copy of the good foods, bad foods list, and you're on with us in Zoom, check the chat. Our co-hosts have been putting the link to that good foods, bad foods list in the chat. It is also found on our website at askdoclive.com. You can do a search there for the good foods, bad foods list, and that goes through all of the things that you want to stay away from, but most importantly, the things that you want to add to your diet. I don't know that, okay, you're going to correct me on that one. I know you are. The most important thing is to stay away from the bad foods. But for me,
you have to do both.
When you tell me I can't have something, I need an alternative.
Oxygen. What's more important? Oxygen or water? You need them both.
You need them both. That's right. That's right. So I love the fact that there are alternatives that are offered there with the good food. So you don't have to feel like you are being deprived of anything, because I mean, there's a lot of good stuff that we can eat. But as in that document stated in 1936, Dr. Wallach?
1936.
Our food does not have the nutrition that it used to. And think about 1936. That was almost 90 years ago. Was it 9? Yeah, almost 90 years ago. And we've been continually farming the land, depleting it even further.
And primarily what farmers put in large fields is NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, because that'll give him maximum growth in terms of tons and bushels per acre, is where he makes his money. And then when he makes some feed for his pigs and his horses and his cows and sheep out of that, he'll add vitamins and minerals to it for them. But you're getting the corn and the wheat and buckwheat and all the bad stuff with just 3 nutrients in them, and all the bad stuff that goes along with it. And so it's a very bad situation.
So basically, we're getting the filler and a little bit of nutrition, unless we're intentionally giving our body that nutrition, right?
Yep. And the previous person we were talking about had the diabetes. Don't forget the sweeties.
And the sweeties, absolutely. Because that gives the nutrients that are important to help to
They're not important. They're essential.
Essential.
Okay.
Essential.
They're essential because type 2 diabetes makes up 98% of the diabetic population, and it's 100% a nutritional deficiency. It is not genetic. It's not autoimmune. It's not anything else. It's just a nutritional deficiency of 2 elements. Which one is it? Which one is it? Well, you get the program, you'll see. You get the book, you'll see. And the reason why we don't tell people, because they run to the store and they'll buy that one nutrient out of the 90. They're 90 short or 89 short, depending on what number system you use. They're short, everything else. And then they die from something else. Well, yeah, they did what you said and they died. Okay.
Well, we look at the body as a whole, Dr. Wallach,
That's right.
because one piece does not function unless everything else is functioning properly also.
That's correct.
So we have to feed the
And
body.
how do you spell, when you say the body as a whole, how do you spell that?
It's WHOLE.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's a hole missing. And we don't want any holes in our body, especially not in our bones and in our heart and all that good stuff. We want to be solid and able to function as we were designed to do. Well, Dr. Wallach, we're so close to the top of the hour. Why don't we go ahead and take a quick little break here on Ask Doc Live. Everybody, don't go away, because we will be right back. And I want to remind you, get back with the person that invited you to this program. We do hope that this program is offering information that is getting you thinking about what you're putting in your mouth. Because as epigenetics states, what we put in our mouths and what we have in our environment actually is what influences how our genes are expressed. Now, if your grandparents had diabetes and arthritis and all those things, and their grandparents did, it's not because it's genetic. What has been handed down is a way of eating, and with a continued depletion of soil and where our food is being grown, and the food it is being fed to our meat supplies, it's continually breaking down. And we want to make sure and be intentional in knowing that what we're putting into our bodies is beneficial for our bodies, supporting our cells and our body on a whole. We will be right back on Ask Doc Live. Get up and stretch, hydrate, take deep breaths so that you're getting your oxygen, so that you're getting your water, because you need both. And we'll see you in just a minute. All right, and I am back. Let's see if Dr. Wallach is back yet. So everybody, thank you for joining us here on Ask Doc Live. My name is Becca Dukes Kozak, and I am the host of this program, have been since we started back in July of 2020. And it is my honor to be able to host this program. Now, I've been blessed in my own health journey where I had tried everything. And I heard Dr. Wallach on a radio program, as many of our listeners have, and many of our subscribers in our newsletter have heard Dr. Wallach on Coast to Coast. And I'm like, oh, that just sounds too easy. But you know what? I have tried everything. So why not? I gave Dr. Wallach 90 days, as he suggested, and it has changed my life. So not only have I been able to get rid of all of my pharmaceuticals and all of my conditions that I had been dealing with even since I was 8 years old, I feel great. And I love the fact that I am able to age, and I feel like I'm aging backwards. And Dr. Wallach, if you are there, go ahead and unmute yourself, and you can click the OK to start your video. There we go. We got the earpieces in. I think we're ready to get back started.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you fine. I can even see you, Doc. So
I see you too.
Good. So let's go back to the salt, because Jenny has a question.
Okay.
She says, does that mean that sea salt is good for people with thyroid issues? So I don't know if that's just thyroid issues, or, I mean, all of us that have thyroids and haven't had it removed.
Well, the thyroid gland requires all 90 essential nutrients, but there's one, so you have to appreciate that all our tissues require 90 essential nutrients. but every organ has what we call secret sauces that it needs. And one of the secret sauces that the thyroid needs a lot of is iodine. Okay, I mean, every little school kid knows that, iodine. But that's, if you just take iodine, but none of the other 89, you're dead.
Well, Dr. Wallach, school kids these days, they're not taught that. And that's one reason why I love this as part of my curriculum.
Yeah, it's the set, the book, the CD,
set.
the DVD. Yep.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So there's a book, DVD, and a CD. And so iodine is found in sea salt, yes, but we also have a couple different versions through Longevity that offers the iodine. We have the ultimate iodine in liquid drops. So if you feel that you need additional iodine in your diet, we have that. Get back with the person that invited you to this program and ask them about the iodine products. If you were not invited to this program by anybody specific, on our website, Ask Doc Live, we do have a store that you can click on the store and get information. And Dr. Wallach, you just moved your camera.
I'm sorry.
You're fine.
Are we okay now?
Yeah.
I see what's happening.
No. There we go.
Yeah. Okay, I was dragging a book and the foot of the camera sticks out about 4 inches and I didn't see it. I'm hitting that foot. Sorry.
You know what? I'm so proud of you for just grabbing onto the technology and being open to do it. Because not many people are when they get in this habit of doing things, and especially when they've been on the road for years, giving in-person presentations for, well, it's not just years,
30 years,
decades.
Yeah,
that's right. And here you are in your office in front of a computer and still going strong. So I commend you for even being a young 83, for grasping onto technology. And
thank you so much,
just
Rebecca.
making it go.
You're a good coach.
Well, I'm trying. As we have many good coaches here available to help people find the right products, the right approach to their health journey also. So I have another question here, and Angelica wants to know, hydration in elderly. What would you recommend for the best hydration, but also for helping to build white blood cells, because she has a client that has low white cell content. White cells.
Well, white blood cells are made in the bone marrow. So right away, that steers you to the bones.
Yes.
So you need to get rid of all the bad stuff so you can absorb the good stuff. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, no rye oats, no buckwheat. And then I want you to take the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack. Let's see here. Do we know how much this person weighs?
We don't. So let's go with 100 pounds.
Per 100 pounds of body weight. One Healthy Brain and Heart Pack per 100 pounds of body weight. If they only weigh 105, 110 pounds, it'd be a half a dose of everything twice a day. If they weigh 150 or more, they need 2 Healthy Brain and Heart Packs per month. If they weigh 300 pounds or more, they need 3 Healthy Brain and Heart Packs per month, and so on. And then for the bone marrow, and the bone cortex itself, you need per 100 pounds of body weight, 1 bottle of the MSM. So you take, say, 3 twice a day per 100 pounds of body weight. And that's going to support and promote maintenance repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between the vertebrae, bone makes a bone itself, and the bone marrow, where the white blood cells and the red blood cells and the antibodies and the platelets are made. Your bone marrow, one of the most important tissues in your body, the odds are you will never see your bone marrow. The odds are you will never see your own bone marrow, but it's one of the most important tissues in your body because it makes red blood cells, it makes white blood cells, it makes platelets. I mean, if you just get a little nick from a flower thorn, you'll bleed to death if you don't have platelets. So your bone marrow is very, very important there. And so that's where you make your white blood cells, is in your bone marrow. So you got to go there. And then don't forget the collagen peptides, scoop of that. So per 100 pounds of body weight, I'd go with a scoop for breakfast drink, scoop for dinner drink. That'll be 2 canisters a month. I need the Beyond Osteo FX, a scoop of that at breakfast, scoop of that dinner drink. And then don't forget the vitamin D3. Even if you live in a sunny place, people say, well, I live in Hawaii. Well, how much time do you spend out at the beach? Well, okay. And so when you go to the beach, you take a umbrella. Oh yeah, sit in the shade. We don't sit out in the sun. Only visitors sit out in the sun. Okay, well, there you go. You need the vitamin D3 if you're not sitting out in the sun. And so these are basic things that kids get taught in 6th grade science, but by the time they're 18 years old, they kind of forget it. They want to go with the good tasting stuff that makes them feel better for at least a few minutes anyway.
Well, I know as I'm driving around here in Southern California and I see people walking and jogging with umbrellas.
Yep.
It's like, I would love to be out in the sun, just soaking up that ray. And the nice thing about it that I've noticed, Dr. Wallach, since taking the 90 essential nutrients with the essential fatty acids and the collagen, I can be out in the sun much longer without going crispy. So
that's correct.
I think that's just another bonus that comes from giving your body what it needs. And Don put in the comments here. He said one of my hotel general managers was in the U.S. Navy and told me that when he was in the service, the ship's cooks were only allowed to use white pepper. So bravo on that one, because that's the only pepper I use. And it still gives good flavor.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Dr. Wallach, somebody is talking about the books and wanting to know, your books.
Mm-hmm.
They can be found on our website, askdoclive.com. We have many of your popular books there. Just click on Dr. Wallach's books. And if you don't find it there, you can always go to drjwallach.com, which is Dr. Wallach's website, and find all of his publications there, all of the CDs, all the books, all the DVDs that are offered through Wellness Publications. So we want to make sure that everybody has information and access to the information about this valuable information that Dr. Wallach has put together through his decades of research.
Well, thank you, Beck. And I want to add a little alert here. We do have 4 new books and a 10 CD set coming out. And the cost of printing today is like 25% more than it was 3 years ago, and 50% more than it was 10 years ago. And so we're going to have to raise the prices on all the books. So if you've been thinking about buying a book or two, don't forget, you get a big discount if you buy 10 of any one title. And then you're going to pay the current prices if you buy them now. If you wait until the new price list comes out, you say, oh God, I should have bought them 2 weeks ago. And so be thinking about that, talk to whoever you need to in your family and so forth, get together. And at the very least, you want to get Rare Earths and Cures, Let's Play Doctor, It's All in Your Head, Dead Doctors Don't Lie, The Truth About Nutrition, Epigenetics, Immortality. Get a hold of those books, and you can add 25 to 50 healthy years of your life just by adding that information from those books and CDs that come along with them to your lifestyle. I mean, I've been doing this for 75 years. Now, most people think I'm in my 50s and 60s because of my energy levels and all that kind of stuff. And I started taking all this stuff when I was 9. I started taking this stuff when I was 9, 75 years ago. Okay. And so pretty soon I'll be 84. And I've only been on prescription drugs 3 days out of my life. And that was a long time ago when I had infections, okay, for falling up in Canada. I fell in a construction ditch. We have been going down that path forever in Canada. It was at night after a meeting in Canada, and we're walking down this path to go to the parking lot. And the people had used a backhoe to dig a trench through there, and they didn't put a fence around or any warning or anything. There was no lights. And guess who stepped in the hole? Me. And of course, I was punctured by all this rebar and everything, got infection. So I had IV antibiotics for 3 days, and that was it. Other than that,
And it wasn't just a little hole, Dr. Wallach. I saw pictures. You were kind of shish kebabbed.
Yeah, that's true.
I can't imagine. I can't imagine. But you made it through. You have all of your toes, all of your feet, all of your legs, which they wanted to take those off.
Yeah, they did want to amputate. Yeah, they wanted to amputate my legs. And they said, okay, well, we're gonna have to give you IV antibiotics and we can't guarantee that you'll live. I said, well, I'd rather die with my legs on than have you kill me taking my legs off. So you're not taking my legs off, forget that. Just give me the IV antibiotics. In 3 days' time, the infection was down, all the swelling was down, and I was out of there.
And you have little to no scarring. You still have muscle tone. It's incredible, Dr. Wallach. After seeing all the pictures and spending a little bit of time with you, and it's unbelievable. And I know you contributed to having the nutrition on board already, and not just as a response to getting
trauma.
sick.
Oh yeah, no, I've been taken again. You know, I was in my, gosh, I had to be in my 60s.
Now, when that happened, Dr. Wallach,
Mhm.
that was less than 5 years ago.
Oh, was it less than 5 years ago?
That was less than 5 years ago.
I was in
just
my late
before COVID.
70s. Yeah, I was in my late 70s.
You were.
Yeah,
Yeah.
most people that age would have died from that trauma. As you say, I was shish kebab by all that rebar, and the infection was horrible. And you know, the doctors walk in, they go, "Whoa, we got to cut those legs off." I said, no, we're not going there.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you didn't go there. That's for sure. And you made it through. We're able to continue this message and just use that as proof that it works. So, Dr. Wallach,
Yes, ma'am.
Nancy has a question because we were just now talking about bone marrow.
Okay.
And what are your thoughts on bone marrow transplant?
Well, there are times when that's necessary. When people have kind of radiation poisoning or they've been starving and your bone marrow is dead, there's nothing to revive, because there's, you know, if you just sort of give your bone marrow what it needs to revive and there's no live bone marrow cells in there because they took a biopsy and there's nothing alive in there, that's when you need a bone marrow transplant. So there are times when you have to do those extreme things, but they're going to go by blood type and all this kind of stuff. And so they're going to match your blood type so your bone marrow is happy. But then they don't all do the same thing. Here's where, in addition to the bone marrow transplant, they need to jump on the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack, the MSM, the collagen peptides, beyond osteo, vitamin D3. They need to throw all that stuff at it at the same time to really enhance and support that bone marrow transplant, because you want to take care of that baby.
Well, you most definitely do. I mean, your blood is manufactured in your bone marrow. If your bone marrow is not healthy, you're not going to have healthy blood, just as you mentioned. So we definitely want to make sure that we're giving our body what it needs to be healthy on a whole, because that blood is what circulates all the nutrition throughout the body. And if it's not circulating and if it's not healthy, then there's no possible way to have good health.
Well, what about oxygen?
Well, that has to be circulated through, that's right, that has to be circulated through the blood too. And if that circulation is not helping or not going through the body, then you're not getting the oxygen either. So it's amazing how everything, it's not a part, everything is a whole. It all works together. And you start taking parts out, then the whole starts to decline as well.
Try driving your car without a fuel pump.
I've had my fuel pump go out before, and it does not go. So, and I've had the power steering pump go out, and that made it very hard to steer. So think about it. You get arthritis in your bones and joints. That makes it hard to move. You can still do it, but not with any type of ease or comfort. So let's just be proactive, and we can even be reactive and get results. I was reactive, although I thought I was being proactive. What I was doing, because what was taught by people that we trusted was incorrect information. And here we're giving information that isn't taught on any type of federal or government level yet. So, Dr. Wallach, let's go to a hand that is up.
Okay.
And Deborah, let me go ahead and ask you to unmute. And welcome to Ask Doc Live.
Hello, Doc Wallach.
Hello, how can we help you?
I have a client who has had a heart transplant a few years ago, and they won't let her go on the full 90 because they're very protective of thinking that she's going to have some kind of reaction that's going to cause some kind of problems, because they're trying, they got her on meds to keep her immune system kind of low so she doesn't reject the heart. So I'd like some input about that. And now she has low iron, and they're talking about giving her iron infusions.
Okay. Well, there's several things going on here. Number one, she needs to stay away from all the bad foods. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, barley, rye, and oats, no sugar, no buckwheat. All that's got to go to make sure she can absorb nutrients, right? And that's not taking anything special. It's just getting rid of the bad stuff. Then everybody needs 90 essential nutrients. That's a given. And so they can't say you can't have 90 essential nutrients, because that's what the good Lord made us with all our equipment requiring those nutrients, right? So she needs the 90 essential nutrients. And then, of course, the bone marrow requires about a dozen different secret sauces. And so here's where, again, the, what should I say, here's where the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack come in. Need all these nutrients to make the bone marrow happy. And again, don't forget the MSM, don't forget the collagen peptides, don't forget Beyond Osteo, don't forget the vitamin D3. And this is kind of like grandma's old bone broth. I don't know if you're old enough to remember grandma making bone broth. It's, take the chicken bones and beef bones and ribs and stuff like that and put them in some vinegar and let them simmer on the wood stove overnight. And then we would all fight to see who was going to get that bone broth, because it would rebuild your bones. Okay, well, that was too difficult to contemplate doing as a sales product for an international company. So we came out with the collagen peptides, which is bone broth from fish, poultry, sheep, and beef, all in one product. And so we've sort of ramped up on grandma's recipe, and that's what it's for. It's replacing bone broth. And so it doesn't hurt for this person to ask another doctor, say, hey, is there any reason why I can't have, I had a heart transplant. Is there any reason why I can't have vitamins and minerals as a supplement? Okay. I'm a little anemic and all this kind of stuff. I need something to help me here. But also they need to participate by getting rid of the bad stuff, including gluten and the buckwheat stuff, okay, which is the phagopyrins, okay. All that's got to go, and because they cause and contribute to big problems. So I hope that helps you. I don't know, because I can't say yes or no because she's not my patient, okay. But she does need these things. And so if she's not getting them from her food, she's getting clinical problems, then she needs to ask, another doctor in her area, is it okay if I take some vitamins and minerals? I've got this problem, this problem, this problem. And just eating well for the last 6 months hasn't helped me. It's slowly getting worse. I need to take some vitamins and minerals, and my doctor says don't take vitamins and minerals. So what do you think? And so, kind of have her go that way. Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, let us know what happens, and we'll be happy to, if you want to get a 3-way with her on, or if you want to get her doctor on her here, we'll talk to her doctor.
Okay.
That'll be fun.
Right?
Thank you.
Thank you, Doc.
All right. Thank you, Deborah. Great question, which then addressed a question that somebody else had in the comments about buckwheat. So I hope he was able to listen and hear that answer as well. Now, Dr. Wallach, Nancy brings up the fact that nobody has brought up ALS in a while. Okay. And it's possible that people don't bring it up because they've been told that it is incurable. So what are your comments on ALS?
Okay, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, of course, has to do with, what should I say? It goes along with, let's see here, Parkinson's disease. It goes along with Alzheimer's disease. It goes along with Tourette syndrome. It goes along with MS. It goes along with all those things. And these are all nutritional deficiencies, including ALS. And so people with ALS need to get rid of all the bad foods. No gluten, no wheat, bran, rye, and oats, no buckwheat, okay, no phagopyrins. And then need to take 3 eggs twice a day if they're adults, 3 eggs twice a day with soft yolks. And then, of course, they need the healthy brain and heart pack. They need the collagen peptides. They need to take the, let's see here. I also have them take the Synaptive, 3 of those twice a day. I have them take the Memory FX, 3 of those twice a day. And that's kind of where I would start.
What about, so the ALS really affects the sheath, myelin sheath on the nerves. And I know our ultimate niacin has ingredients in it that help to promote the health of that sheath. Okay, well, go for ultimate niacin also, can't hurt. I take that. I take one of those at breakfast, one dinner time. If I take 2, I get all that hot and see,
spell.
I'm opposite. I have to take 2 at a time, or I get a hot flash and flush. And go ahead, share with us a little bit what that is, if you would.
Well, it's a sudden dilation of your blood vessels caused by the niacin. The blood vessels suddenly dilate and you just get this hot flash. Okay. And so
because the blood is flowing, right?
That's correct.
Isn't that what we wanted to do?
That's correct. And so I don't mind a mild one, but I don't want a hot flash that puts me out of business. I mean, it's just, it's so disruptive. I just can't. I'm sorry, I'll be back in 15 minutes, kind of thing.
Well, and the nice thing about it, though, Dr. Wallach, is it doesn't last very long, and it is about 15-20 minutes for most people. And something that you can do is drink extra water. Make sure that you're staying hydrated.
And you think about it, when you're taking the healthy brain and heart pack, you're taking 215 separate nutrients. And then I throw in, you've visited us, you've seen the table with all my supplements on it. I have 55 bottles on the table. So I take the 215 nutrients plus my 55 additional supplements on top of that. I'm taking about 270 different nutrients, okay, twice a day. That's twice a day. And so, what can I say? It's one of those things where you put your priorities where they're at. Well, my priorities are to live to be at least a minimum of 200, but I think 400, 600 is even better, but a minimum of 200 is about right. And so we have so many people to help, so many people that need information, and they're suffering terribly from simple things that we can pass on information to them and help them get through this without, a catastrophe. And so you have to be personally responsible and take care of yourself. So yeah, if you're 200 years old, people got to listen to you when it comes to aging. If you're in the emergency room dying and you're 40, nobody's going to listen to you about health.
That's true. I know the first time I saw that table, Dr. Wallach, it's like, it's a 2x5 table, folks. And he's got a little bit of space where he lines up his bottles, and 3 feet of that 1x3 minimum is packed full of the supplements. He is a product of the product.
And now that's not the 90 essential nutrients. Those are my add-ons.
Those are special sauces.
Those
That's
are the
right.
secret sauces, special sauces. Yep.
Yep. And then on the counter, right there in front of the refrigerator, you got your tangy tangerine, your Osteo FX, and your collagen peptides. So, and then the canister of the Rebound. I like the canister of the Rebound because it does have less sugar. And many people ask, well, if doc's not for carbonation, why do they make a carbonated drink? And folks, we have to meet people where they're at. When people are out there buying hand over fist canned drinks that provide artificial energy, and it's from sugar and caffeine, which creates a spike in their blood sugar and then a drop. You've got to meet people where they're at. We got to put something in a can like what they've been wanting to buy so that they'll want to buy it also. And unfortunately, carbonation helps to satisfy another one of those reasons people buy that drink.
Let me add a piece to your answer there. Everybody's heard of
Please.
Red Bull. That is the most best-selling, what should I say, power drink or energy drink.
Power
Yeah,
drink.
Red Bull. And one of the co-founders of the Red Bull company who manufactured it died about 2 weeks ago. They haven't released his cause of death yet. I'm very, very interested in his cause. He was sudden. He just died in his sleep one night, and no previous illnesses or anything. And he had bragged for many years, and I had gone to several other meetings, and he'd bragged for many years that he was drinking 10 cans of Red Bull every day for 25 years. It's all carbonated, right? And so I finally got digging into what is Red Bull. Well, it's caffeine, it's sugar. It is, let's see here, it has all the B vitamins in it, all the B vitamins, and it does have one mineral, magnesium. It doesn't have 60 minerals in it. Okay, our Rebound has 75 minerals in it, including the 60 essential minerals, including magnesium. Okay,
Yeah.
and so Red Bull is not a complete supplement, where our Rebound is a complete supplement except for essential fatty acids. Okay, it has all 90 essential nutrients except for the essential fatty acids. And so that's a big difference between a high sugar, high caffeine, one mineral drink, which is carbonated, the Red Bull. And one of the co-founders died. I think he is 75 or 78, somewhere in there. Suddenly just went to sleep that night, didn't wake up in the morning. And so, you know, and I'm sure he was a very nice man. And so it's one of those things where you have to kind of look and say, okay, do I want to go that direction, or do I want to take the Rebound? And if I like canned drinks, I would just pop the top like Wallach does and leave it off the carbonation at night and drink it flat. All the bubbly's gone in the morning.
I like to drink it with a banana. Mix it all up.
Oh,
And it's just so good.
I'll have
I
to
love
try
it.
that. I'll have to try
But
that.
not the can. I use the powder in the canister so that I'm not getting all of that sugar, because sugar creates fat. It's not fat that creates fat, folks. Sugar creates fat. So we stay away from sugar. We don't have that high blood sugar spike and drop. What?
And mineral deficiencies cause fat.
And mineral deficiency. Well, yes, because mineral deficiencies, your body thinks it's starving. So it's going to hold on to everything that it
Pica.
does get. And you're going to eat more and more and more, which is pica.
Yeah, you'll eat 10 meals a day instead of 3.
Well, you know what study that you mentioned that, Dr. Wallach? There was a time in my largest moments where they were saying to eat 6 small meals a day. So I was eating those 6 small meals a day. I calculated it one day. My small meals were like 2,400 calories
Each.
and very little nutrition. No, not each. Not each, but twice the amount of what I should have been eating if going by a 1,200 calorie diet to lose weight, which I'm kind of losing some trust. No, I did lose a lot of trust in their studies because none of them were working for me. And I got on your program. My first 3 months, I lost 20 pounds. I wasn't even trying. And it's because I was giving the body those minerals. The body no longer felt like it was in starvation mode, and it started releasing. And now I'm down 105 pounds. So I think it works. I do. Thank you.
Oh, you're very
Thank you for
welcome.
being on the radio for all these years, Dr. Wallach, and talking to the air, because my ears heard that air, and I greatly appreciate it. Let's go to Yvonne, who has her hand up patiently. Yvonne, go ahead and unmute yourself. You're on live with Dr. Wallach.
Hi, you caught
Hi.
me. I needed about a 2-minute warning. Give me a second.
Unfortunately, I can't say, Yvonne, you're up next in 2 minutes.
Oh, darn.
But there you are, beautiful.
Hey, hi, Doc. Good
Hi.
morning. Good to see you again. So I have a 67-year-old. She's 130 pounds. She's developed over the last, I think, 6+ years. Basically, she describes it as hardening from the inside out. She has calcium, very, very large calcium, cutaneous, like in her wrist. She's got some calcifications in the lungs, in the kidneys. Her skin is extremely tight and shiny. They have decided that she has scleroderma. How can we help her, and what's going on? Is it a calcium issue? Is it a deficiency?
Okay, well, scleroderma is a nutritional deficiency. It's actually like osteoporosis of the skin.
Wow.
Okay, derma is skin.
Yeah.
Sclera is scarring. Okay, scleroderma. So
Yeah.
she needs to get rid of all the bad stuff. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, rye, ryeose, no sugar, no carbonated drinks of any kind, no buckwheat. And then I want her to have, let's see here, she weighed 100
30. She's
130, oh yeah, I said 130 pounds. So she needs to, since she has scleroderma and it can lead to fatal things. So she needs to get 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, a full dose of everything twice a day. I'm going to get 2 bottles a month of our MSM. So you could take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. She needs, let's see here, 2 canisters of the collagen peptides. So she could take a scoop of that with her breakfast drink, a scoop of that with her evening drink. I want her also to take our vitamin D3, 3 of those twice a day. I also want her to have, let's see here, hair, skin, and nails. I'm going to get 2 bottles a month of hair, skin, and nails. So she could take 3 of those. I'd have her take 3 times a day. She has scleroderma. I'd have her take 3 times a day of the hair, skin, and nails. And let's see here. I think that's going to cover the waterfront. That's going to cover the waterfront. And again, she's got to stay away from all the bad stuff so she can maximize absorption of all these things. And let's see here. Becca, did I miss anything?
You're muted,
I
Becca.
think you got it. I think you got it, Doc.
Okay.
We just
Okay.
want to make sure we're supporting the connective tissue and have all those cofactors so that the calcium could actually be utilized where it's needed.
So no extra, well, you're going to have EFAs since you said healthy brain and extra EFAs.
Yeah, well, the 2 healthy brain and heart packs, so she'll be able to take 3 EFAs and 3 EFA pluses
Great.
twice a day. Mm-hmm.
And why the D3? That sounds like the capsules. Can I give her the spritz?
The Citra D.
The Citra D.
Citra D, oh yeah, yeah.
The
Either
other?
way, anything works as long
Okay.
as D3, because this is where, this is how you help your body absorb, particularly calcium, okay, and put it in all the right places, including the bones and the skin and cartilage and ligaments and all this kind of connective tissue. you need that vitamin D3. And again, people knew in the old days that if you didn't have sunlight, you'd get trouble. You get rickets. Kids would get rickets if they didn't have the sunlight. And of course, rickets, it was a big deal when suddenly they were burning coal in big cities. And when they're burning coal, you know, to make electricity and stuff like that, it clouded out the sun, and rickets went crazy in the big cities because of that.
And Doc, real quick, she questioned when I gave her some stuff, she said, well, I have to have, you know, K2 with my D3, but there were no minerals in her D3 and K2. Can you talk on that?
Well, if she wants to get a K2, just add it to ours. Don't replace anything because her K2 only has K2.
Yeah.
She's going to give up 5 nutrients to take 1. No, it doesn't make sense.
Good approach. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah. And she can add
Yvonne,
her K2 to it.
sorry, Doc.
No, go ahead.
Yvonne, don't go anywhere. Dr. Wallach, I love the fact that we have practitioners that are so instrumental in making sure that your programs and supplements are being utilized within their practices. And Yvonne's one of them. I just love her to death. And she brought up a very good point in regards to B vitamins, because I had seen some articles recently about B vitamins, and one of them talking about synthetic B vitamins being toxic to our bodies. And so I went looking up that form of B in our supplements, and we didn't have it. I was so excited. We had the natural, non-synthetic form of B vitamins, which when you look at Red Bull, it's got synthetic B vitamins, not natural. So Thank you so much for reminding me of that, Yvonne.
Absolutely. And I think that's one thing that we all here need to remember when you are questioned with something like that. Well, my doctor says, remember, and Doc, help us out here. Something like 99.9% of all of these research articles are on synthetic nutrients made in a laboratory, not plant food. So you have to, you know, educate yourself, educate your customers and your family, and you will make an even bigger difference.
Yeah, and of course, doctors don't get much training for nutrition, except the salesmen come by and they give them a sample or something like that. A 6th grader can know more about nutrition than their doctor does. The doctor, all they say is just eat well, you get everything you need. That's an absolutely false statement. Every time a doctor should say that, they should spend 10 years in jail. Oh, just eat well, you get everything you need. That's not possibly true. It's not possible to be true.
Not at all. And one more thing, Yvonne, thank you so much for your service, as I know that you did serve in our armed forces as well.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
What branch of the service did you serve?
I was in the Navy, also served with the Marines, and worked in the dental and the medical field.
Well, thank you so much. God bless you for your service.
Hey, thank you for your book, Doc. That's how I got introduced to you when I was reading the
Was it Dead Doctors Don't Lie?
Oh, no, the big one, the one that cost me the price of a small car.
Okay, yeah, it's the $25,000 one.
Yes, I read that. Or I'm still reading it. I'm about a third of
I have good news about that. That book, The Diseases of Exotic Animals, was my 20,000 autopsies. Okay, yes. 20,000 autopsies are represented in that book. And it was a 10-year study, $25 million study, and proved there were no genetically transmitted diseases, there's no autoimmune diseases. And of course, we sold out. Like in 90 days, sold out. And of course, the replacement for it, because the average person is not going to spend $25,000, is Epigenetics. Okay, it's kind of a summary of that book. Okay, Epigenetics, thank you. Okay, is a summary of it. Now, the good news is we have the book, The Diseases of Exotic Animals, a $25,000 book, at the printers right now, and they're printing. Each chapter is going to be a book.
Oh, fantastic!
So you can buy the books, the chapter at a time. Okay, And so I'm very excited about that. And it's going to go very quickly because of all the equipment we have now with all the computers and this, that, and the other. And so we're going to buzz through this. And so it's going to be made available here pretty soon. And it's going to floor people. It's going to freak people out.
Will that be marketed to veterinarians or to?
Oh, no, to humans.
How it relates to disease, nutrition as it relates?
How it relates to human disease.
Fantastic. Fantastic. I know sometimes people ask me, why are you reading that? You know, they don't understand what you did.
Well, not only that, most of the research in nutrition for humans is done in rabbits and mice and guinea pigs. It's all done in animals and pigs and calves and horses
Yes.
and so forth. It's not done in people because you have to kill them at the end of the study. You do all the microscopic stuff and chemistry and so forth. And so that wouldn't work, you know, unless you're a Nazi. Okay.
Well, I hope you'll be promoting that strongly.
Oh yeah, as soon as the first supply comes off the printers, we will be punching that hard because everybody will be able to afford it.
Becca, can I get a can you help me get a signed copy?
I can help you get a signed copy. Absolutely.
And
All
thank you
right.
again so much for your service. We love you. Thank you so much for your service. God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Yvonne.
Thank you, Becca.
Wow.
For everything you and your team do.
Navy and the Marines, holy moly.
She's a powerhouse, Doc.
Wow.
She's a powerhouse. We have a lot of powerhouses in our
What state
longevity family.
what state does she live in now?
She's in our state. She's in California,
Oh,
just farther north. And yeah, so Dr. Wallach, we have, there's so many things I want to talk about and we're almost out of time.
okay. Well,
So we
do
only have 10 more minutes.
well, we have 2 hours of radio coming up this afternoon. Okay.
Yes. So we have Dead Doctors Don't Lie that
Mhm.
is aired on KSCO 1080 AM. And
Mhm.
if you go to their website, ksco.com, and then click on KOMY or do a search, better yet, do a search for Dead Doctors Don't Lie. It will give you the information that you need in order to jump on and have a whole nother hour of being able to ask Dr. Wallach questions in regards to your health there on the air. And folks, don't be shy. Somebody else out there is experiencing the same thing that you are experiencing. And they may be listening to that syndicated program. And because of your question, you could be also helping them change their life and create a better health journey for them as well. So we encourage you to jump on to Dr. Wallach's radio programs also Monday through Friday from 12 to 1 p.m. Pacific time. And then I apologize, I don't know all of the information for the Let's Play Doctor. That's another affiliation that I'm not part of, but I love KSCO.
That's from 1 to 2, but both those stations are AM radio, and been doing that for over 32 years.
32 years. That's called longevity, Dr. Wallach. That's like stick-to-itiveness.
Stick-to-itiveness.
So
Yeah.
stick-to-itiveness. And for those of you who are on the Zoom with us, Ruth Ellen just put the information in the chat on how you can plug in and make a phone call and ask Dr. Wallach on his program. I'm honored to be on with you on Wednesdays on that program.
Yes,
So
you're a co-host.
that's
on
awesome.
Wednesdays. Yes.
I think it's absolutely
you.
fabulous. And I want to know where people are joining us in from. And I asked that question in the chat, Dr. Wallach. And I know for a fact we have people in West Virginia and South Carolina, North Carolina, Utah, Washington, California, Pennsylvania, of course, California. I think I said that already. We also have South Africa, Dr. Wallach, outside of Johannesburg.
Alles van die
And
beste.
yes, thank you very much.
That's Afrikaans
I'm gonna
for all of
learn
the
it.
best. Yeah.
I'm gonna learn it. I
Okay.
really am. I promise, Albert, I'm gonna learn it. And I love the fact that we are reaching around the world. We've got the UK, yes, Blue Ridge, Virginia. I think it's fabulous, Dr. Wallach, that, and more people are plugging in here. Sacramento, California, Los Angeles. I know Angelica's in the Los Angeles area. It's just absolutely fantastic. And if you are watching this program because somebody referred you to it, we hope that you did get information that is beneficial for you in helping you reach your health journeys. And welcome Phoenix, Arizona and Oregon. Awesome. They keep them coming. Keep them coming.
Yeah, I'm still licensed as a physician in Oregon, naturopathic physician.
So you're licensed as a naturopathic physician in Oregon and in California.
That's correct.
Yep, absolutely. And of course, you've been a veterinarian around the world.
Yes.
And people forget, Dr. Wallach.
Yeah, two years in South Africa.
2 years in South Africa. But vertebrates, we are a vertebrate. We're a mammal with a backbone. And vertebrates have like all of the different functions that we do. Yes, Rhino Express.
Save the White Rhino. There was only 350 left back then. Now there's 21,000. So I'm very proud of that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's like a little adventure book for kids. So if you have a not too young of a reader, but if you have a young reader or somebody that's into adventure books, that would be a great stocking stuffer for your loved ones, whether nieces, nephews, children, grandchildren, the neighbor kid. Go to drjwallach.com and you'll be able to find Rhino Express there. And goodness, what else? So we did have a question in regards to sugar, Dr. Wallach.
Well, sugar in small amounts is a good fuel. That's all it is. It's a fuel that you burn it and you keep your calories going. So your various functions and organs can do their job, as well as move your muscles and move from here to there. And so sugar in modest amounts is not a bad thing. But like all things, even oxygen in too much, you rust inside when you have too much oxygen. Okay, things oxidize and they turn into bad things. They turn into cancer. And so you have to make sure, even water, you drown if you have too much water. Water is important for hydration, but if you take too much water, you can dilute your nutrients over a long period of time and get nutritional deficiencies if you drink too much water. But also, you can drown if you drink too much water. Okay, and so it's one of those things where, when this co-founder of Red Bull died, they haven't released his cause of death yet. I don't know if they have asked the coroner not to do that or why, but that's been 2 weeks. They should know by now what he died from. And I keep looking, but I don't find it I keep asking Siri, what did he die from? And it says cause of death not yet posted. Okay, so we shall see eventually. We have to wait till all those doctors die.
Well, oh my goodness. That's not very nice, Dr. Wallach.
Well, I said, wait.
We don't want to wish death on anybody, even though it's, eventually all of us are going to leave this life as we know it. But to wish it on anybody, we don't want to do that. And we want to promote. I know you're not wishing, but you're just waiting. But so Nancy has a cute little story that she put in the chat, and she said, I quit sugar intake at 29 years old, and I know she's a few years beyond that. And she said that at night she dreamed of eating cheesecake and custard eclairs for 2 straight weeks, and then she was free of any interest in sweets ever again. So she went through that detoxification stage, folks. And if you push through, and especially if you're giving your body the 90 essential nutrients, you will get through it. And with the 90 essential nutrients, Doc, it didn't take very long. I did not have those cravings for those sweet things anymore. I didn't. I still don't. And
Yeah, I don't have any cravings
Even
for
through
sweet things.
emotional stuff. Yeah, even through emotional stuff and through, women, men too, they go through hormonal changes. Yeah. I think that we all do. And I'm not going to ask you, Doc. I'm just going to tell you, you do. And when your body is nutrified, you don't have those swings. And I'm going to get my co-hosts on here with me because they have done such a great job making sure that the chat is running smooth, making sure that everybody that has their camera on is doing what they're supposed to do and just answering questions in the chat. I absolutely love and appreciate them. And Heather, Ruth Ellen, Jonty, Dr. Wallach, thank you so much for being part of Ask Doc Live.
Thank you.
It
We love
is
you.
another week
Okay.
of being able to provide information that people aren't going to get in other places. So share it with everyone you know. Do a search. Our Critical Health News YouTube page has all of our replays also. So you can go through there, look at the different topics that we offer. Also on the CriticalHealthNews.com website, look at the different topics. You will, I know, think of somebody. I was like, oh, I know that person that's suffering from that. I know that person that's dealing with that. Share that video with them. Make sure that they at least have the opportunity to get information that could change their lives and help them find a new health journey that they will be happier with. So on behalf of Ask Doc Live, my name is Rebecca Dukes, and we appreciate you spending this time with us on Ask Doc Live. Bye for now.
Bye-bye. Love you. Bye-bye.
Love you too,
Bye-bye.
Doc.
Love you.
Bye.
Love you. Love you.